All right, let's talk about taking your e-commerce brand from a local success story to a global powerhouse. If you've ever found yourself wondering what it really takes to expand beyond your own backyard, well, you are in exactly the right place.
So you've built something great. Your brand is humming along, you've got a loyal audience, you've got traction, but now you're starting to ask, okay, what's next? What's the next big move?
Does this feel a little familiar? Your sales are solid, but that incredible, explosive growth you had at the beginning has kind of started to level off. Look, this is a super common hurdle for successful brands, and honestly, it's often the clearest sign that it's time to start thinking bigger.
Because, putting all your eggs in one basket isn't just limiting, it's risky. Think about it. One little shift in your home country's economic, a new competitor, or changing tastes could put your whole business in a tough spot. Your brand's true untapped potential is almost always waiting just across the border.
And that is where this massive opportunity in global e-commerce comes into play. I mean, with digital marketplaces and logistics getting better every single day, going international is more achievable now than it has ever been.
Now, this number, it's a really key benchmark. We find that brands hitting around $500,000 or more in annual revenue, they usually have the operational muscle and the agility needed to make that international leap successfully. You've already poured the foundation, now it's time to build the rest of the empire.
So, where do you even start this journey? Well, for a lot of brands, markets like the UK and the European Union are fantastic starting points. Why? Because they have super reliable logistics, a huge base of consumers who are ready and willing to spend, and really mature digital ecosystems where shopping online is just second nature. A lot of those old barriers to entry, they're just falling away.
Okay, so how do you actually turn this big idea into a concrete plan? It's definitely not as simple as just uploading your product listings to another country's website. Real, lasting success comes from careful prep work, deep insights, and a clear strategy that's built on solid data.
And it all starts right here with thorough market research. Before you even think about shipping a single box, you have to understand the local landscape. Who are you up against over there? What do customers actually want? And what are they willing to pay for it? These are the questions you absolutely have to have answers to.
Let's break that down into a simple checklist. First, you've got to analyze your competition. And I don't just mean the big global players. You need to know the local favorites, the ones who already have customer trust. Second, make sure there's real demand for what you sell. Third, figure out your pricing strategy. And finally, and this is a big one, tailor your marketing and your messaging so it actually connects with the local culture. All right, you've done your homework. Now for the next critical question. Where are you actually going to sell your products? A smart channel strategy is absolutely essential if you want to control your brand and maximize your profits.
You know, a lot of brands just default to an Amazon-only strategy. But let's really think about the trade-offs. Relying only on Amazon makes you totally dependent on one platform. You have less control over your brand story and almost no access to your own customer data. But a multi-marketplace approach, that diversifies your income, builds real brand equity, and in a lot of cases, leads to way better profit margins.
Now, this doesn't mean you avoid big platforms like Amazon, not at all, but you have got to protect your brand on them. Using tools like Amazon's brand registry is a non-negotiable first step. It basically hands you the keys to your own product pages, letting you fight off those pesky, unauthorized resellers and ensure a consistent, high-quality experience for every single customer. Okay, so remember, the goal here isn't just to make a quick splash in a new market and then disappear, right? We're talking about building something sustainable, a lasting presence, and that requires a very deliberate and patient approach to your growth. And here's a huge pitfall I see brands fall into all the time. The temptation to just go everywhere at once is so strong. But moving too fast can be a massive mistake. It can create logistical nightmares, customs headaches, and a web of compliance issues that can stop your expansion dead in its tracks. So, how do you avoid those nightmares? Well, the smart move is finding the right partners. Having specialists in international expansion on your team is invaluable. They're the ones who can navigate tricky customs rules, manage local tax laws, get your logistics set up, and even help you localize your brand. They lay the groundwork so you can grow smoothly and profitably for the long haul. So let's kind of tie all this together. Going international is, without a doubt, one of the biggest growth levers you can pull for your brand. But it absolutely requires sharp planning and strategic execution to get it right. This quote just perfectly nails the entire idea.
Success isn't about being in every market on the map. It's about carefully choosing the right markets, going in with a strategy that's custom-built for that market, and timing your launch perfectly to make the biggest impact.
So as we wrap this up, I'm going to turn the final question back to you. With the right roadmap, the entire global market is sitting there waiting for you. So what new potential is your brand ready to unlock?